Here's how to get strong. You pick a lift that you want to get strong with and you do it 2 to 3 times per week. It's pretty simple. After doing that, you then round it out by working on all of the muscles that are involved in it. You can do this by using other exercises or even the goal movement itself. So for the main movement that you're doing 2 to 3 times a week, you do one day where you're going pretty hard with it, and then the next day where you're going still pretty hard, but not quite as hard with it. You don't really want to go to failure with these, so you just leave a little bit in the tank. Then for rounding it out, you can either use the exercise itself and just work it closer to failure, or pick certain movements that work just the muscles involved and work those close to failure. Every once in a while, take these to failure as well, just so that you at least have a check to make sure that you are going hard enough on them. So these other exercises that are rounding it out have a little bit more of a hypertrophy focus on it to kind of get that long-term progression, right? You want to build up the muscles and think about 5 years, 10 years in advance, and that is going to help you. So get some bigger muscles now and start building that base. And yeah, basically what I'm saying is you just do this and you stick to it for a few years and you be consistent week after week and you work pretty hard, increasing things when they start to get easy, and you'll be strong. It really is that simple. There's so much focus and thought that goes into finding the optimal exercises or the optimal programming, the optimal progression, when that stuff really does not matter at all. What matters is working hard and being consistent over a long period of time. If you do that, all those very, very minuscule differences between exercises and programs are going to be negated. And all of that focus on being so optimal actually slows your progression because you're constantly changing things up. You're worrying if you're not doing something right. It messes with your consistency. And now you have the formula. Keep it simple, be consistent, work hard. And the movements that you're doing, the main ones are kind of like the skill practice, so that goal movement. And then the other ones are just building that base, that hypertrophy, getting the muscles a little bit bigger, ready to push a little bit more effort. And I'll give 2 examples here just using the squat. I'll do the squat just itself and the squat with other movements. And I'll just do a 2 times a week frequency for simplicity. So for just using the squat, day 1, you could be like, I'm going to work in the RP of 7 to 9. I'm going to do doubles and I'm going to do 3, maybe 4 sets of those. So you do those, you work hard, you get your practice and your strength stimulus with those movements. And then you do some back off sets where you take the squat closer to failure. So you could do sets of 5, maybe do that for 3 sets and work with something that would be like your 6, 7, or 8 rep max. So you could even take your current squat 1 rep max, put it in a calculator, find what would be the rep max for those rep ranges, and then just do 5 reps only with that. And then after a few weeks, you take the weight that you're using and you test how many reps you can do with it to see. Maybe you end up getting 9 or 10 and you're like, well, I'm actually working too far away from failure, so I need to increase the weight on this a little bit because I only want to hit 7 or 8 reps. And for day 2, you can go a little bit lighter with the movement if you want. Maybe work an RP 6 to 7. Again, think of it like practice. Just make those really crisp and feel good and move fast. And you do maybe sets of 3 and you do 3 sets or 4 sets of 3. And again, it's just practice. Then you could do the exact same back down sets as you did on day 1, or you can change the rep range up if you want to kind of keep things a little bit more fresh, and all the same concepts apply. Really simple. And then for the example that uses other exercises, you could keep the main movements the exact same, and instead of doing the back off squats, you just do some leg extensions. Again, same rep range if you want, to work the quads, RDLs to work the glutes, and then you could even do something like Jefferson curls to work your spinal erectors. Boom, you have a great program that is going to get you strong if you do it week after week for a few years on end. And again, it really is that simple. You don't have to worry about being optimal. You just have to worry about working hard and being consistent. Thanks for watching. Now go out there and make some gains.